Hi, everyone, and welcome to Lesson 7 in Math today. So today we're going to be collecting and displaying measurement data. But before we get started, let's go ahead with a fun joke. What do you call what do you call two birds in love? Sweethearts. How about this? How does a scientist freshen her breath? With experiments. How are false teeth like stars? They come out at night, which we'll end with that one. Now, that's pretty funny. All right, on lesson 7, you can gather measurement data by finding the lengths of several objects. The data collected can be useful. Of course it can. All data is useful. So in example 1, it says Taylor is organizing a box of buttons by their size to the nearest half inch. Which size appears more often, 1/2 or 1 inch? So we need to do some measurement. You'll take your ruler and you need to measure each of these buttons. And then what we need to do is we need to put tally marks according to their size. If they're a 1/2 inch, we want to put a tally mark here. If it's 1 inch, we would put a tally mark along here. If along here, they're asking us to display it in a line plot. And we've learned a line plot is a plot that would have the x's. So I've got a tally chart and a line plot. Now, for the sake of making this maybe just a little bit easier, Mrs. Swin's going to come over here and I'm going to move the tools. We're going to see if I can move them. And I'm going to go ahead and we are going to put the answer key on. I think it'll work best for us. So what they're saying in this particular table is that when you measured, we had 1, 2, probably 3, 4 that were closest to 1/2 of an inch. So there were 4 tally marks. For the 1 inch, after you did your measurements, there were 5 tallies, so 5 buttons. This probably, if I'm looking at these, we have a total of 9 down here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So they wanted you to organize them to the nearest. I show this on my line plot with my x's that I have 4 buttons that I show over the 1/2 inch, and I have 5 over the 1 inch. All right, let's go to the next page. On our next page, we have this. Example 2. We talked about being more precise yesterday with the 1/4 of an inch or 1/4 of an inch. And we know that we can also do that in this manner with the paper clips. They want us to measure each paper clip to the nearest 1/4 inch, organize the data in the tally chart, and then display it in a line plot. So we're going to go ahead again, and as you measure each one of these paper clips to 1/4 of an inch, the results we'll put right here, and then the line plot. I'm going to give you a minute or 2 just to go ahead and measure these paper clips. So go ahead with your ruler and measure, and Mrs. Swint will give you 2 minutes. Time's up. All right, let's see how well we've done. If you're not finished, that's okay. We just wanted to get a little bit of practice with our measurement. According to our paperclip chart, our tally chart, they're showing a quarter of an inch. There were 2 paper clips that were a quarter of an inch, which are these tiny ones, the closest. Then we had 3 paper clips that were at a half of an inch or 2/4. We have 3 that were 3/4 of an inch, and there were 3 that were 1 inch or 4/4. I wanted to put those now onto my line plot. And so I have my line plot from 0 to 1, 1/4, 2/4, 3/4, 4/4, or 1. I had 2 of my paper clips, and I want to write the frequency of 2 along 1/4. I had 3 paper clips that showed 2/4 or 1/2, 3 that were 3/4, and I had 3 that were 4/4 or an inch. So there are equal amounts of all sizes except for the 1/4 inch size. Let's go on to the bottom under guided practice. What do the X's represent on the line plot in example 2? Well, the X's represent the frequency of the size of the paper clip. On the next page, when we have independent practice, it says, measure 8 friends' pencils to the nearest inch. Organize the data in a tally chart and then display it on a line plot. So at this point, I'm going to have you go and try to find 8 pencils that are in your house. Pencils, pens, kind of look around, maybe a desk, an office, and see if you can come up with the 8 pencils. Measure them. Tell me the lengths. You might have a pencil that's going to start out at like a short pencil, maybe only 3 inches. You might have most of your pencils at 6 inches. So go ahead. You'll start with the lengths. Make sure you start with the smallest length first. So gather up all of your pencils, and then you'll put the length. And if it's only 8, they gave you 8 spaces, but maybe you have 3. If it's 3 inches here, you might have 3 that are 3 inches. So you may not use all of those to the nearest inch. What is the difference in length between the shortest and the longest pencil? Let's go with this. This one's going to help you out with this a little bit to make it easier. How about if we do this? Let's start with, I would say probably your pencil wouldn't be it's not going to be any shorter, let's say, than 3 inches. So 3 inches. And then they want us to go ahead, and maybe the next one, it says to the nearest inch. So we'll do 4 inches, 5 inches, 6 inches. You might have a really long pencil, 7 inches. I doubt if any pencil's 8 inches, but you could put it down. On your number line, though, you now also have to have enough room for 8. So this might be 1 inch, 2 inch, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So put down your inches on your number line right below the number line. So these are all your inches. 4, 3, 2, and I'm going to put it to 1. Now there will be nothing in 1 and 2 because in this particular one we won't have any. But this is an example. If your pencil, let's say you had 1 that was 3 inch, 2 that were 4 inch. Oh, maybe you had 3 that were 5 inches, 2 that were 6 inches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now I've measured 8 pencils. So I want to take this information and put it on this line. I won't have anything for 1 and 2, but I would have 1x for 3. I have the frequency. There were 2 for 4. I have 3 for 5. And if you want to use this example, you can. I prefer if you measure your own. And then 6 would be 2. Again, we keep our x's on a line plot uniform, so it's very easy to see. What is the difference in length between the longest and shortest pencil? Well, if I'm looking at something like this, the longest pencil is 6 inches. The shortest pencil is 3 inches. They want me to write an equation for the unknown using P for the unknown, and so I will. And then I need to solve it, so I'll let you solve. I'm going to let you do number 4 yourself. Number 5 says, using those same pencils, measure them again, but this time to the nearest ½ inch. So your length could maybe go from 3 to 3.5. 4, 4.5. 5, and 5.5. So go ahead and do your measuring. All right, let's take a look at the next page. On the next page for problem solving, it says several students measured small items from home. The frequency chart shows, or frequency table shows they measured the items to the nearest quarter inch. Display it in the line plot. You can do that. And brain builders, you're creating some equations and solving. No problem. I'm going to go ahead and let you do not have to do the building on the essential question today. And we'll go to our homework. Homework today is this. Tell why in the line plot above there are no x's above the 3/4 of an inch or 3/4 of an inch. So tell me why. Answer the questions, and it looks like they're pretty straightforward. I'm good here. You're creating a line plot, answering the questions. This is all review. You've got this. You're going to do great. Have a wonderful weekend. Happy Mother's Day to the mothers, and take care. Bye, everyone.